Hello everybody, my name is Devashish Roy. I'm Senior Technical Trainer at Indian Cybersecurity Solutions, and these are my contact addresses in case you want to contact me. Today we'll discuss about the DHCP server and how to configure DHCP server on Cisco router. Now what is the DHCP server? We know that we can manually give IP address to the PCs. It can be any OS, Microsoft, Linux, Mac, any OS. But accidentally we can assign same IP address to different pieces. So it will result in IP address conflict. So what is the DHCP server? It automatically allocates the IP addresses to clients. So it dynamically gives IP address to clients and it is used to avoid IP address conflict that I've just mentioned. Now, how does it give IP address to the clients? There is a process going on DHCP server. It is known as DORA process. Now, what is the DORA process is all about? This is all about the IP address discover, DHCP discover. So what happens? That the DHCP client is actually sending a DHCP discover message to the DHCP server to get the IP address. This discover message is actually a broadcast message to get the IP address request. Now, a DHCP server offers an IP address to the client by this DHCP offer message. After receiving the DHCP offer message, the client actually selects that IP address that is offered by the DHCP server by the DHCP request. It is for the IP address selection. And finally, the DHCP server assigns the IP address to the DHCP client by giving the DHCP ACK message. It assigns the IP address and it sends an acknowledgement. So DORA means discover, D offer O, request R, and acknowledgement A. So this is the short form of these messages. So this is how the DHCP server actually allocates IP address to the client. Now there are some DHCP terminologies like DHCP pool. It is the range of IP address to distribute to clients. So on router or on DHCP server, we create DHCP pool of addresses that is to be distributed to the clients. And there is DHCP lease duration, means validity, means for how many days DHCP server has allotted the IP address to clients. So for how many days, how much time the IP address will be allocated to clients. And this is for WAD network, it's 8 days it is given to the clients. So now I'm going to show you how to configure the DHCP server on Cisco routers using Cisco Packet Tracer. Now you take a router and you take some switch and you take pieces. You connect router fast Ethernet 0 by 0 to any switch port and also laptop or desktop to the any switch port. Now I'm ready to configure DHCP server on my router. You go to fast Ethernet 0 by 0. First of all, you have to give no shutdown command to bring this port up, and you have to give a manual IP address also, because the DHCP server should have an IP address that will be statically assigned to it. Say the IP address will be 10.0.0.254. Now I'll create a pool of DHCP. Go to config mode and give IP DHCP pool, and you gave any name, say ICSS. Now give the network range, that will be definitely 10.0.0.0 because the DHCP server has the IP address of 10.0.0.254. Now the subnet mask. So that is all we need to do on the DHCP server. Now you go to this laptop's desktop IP configuration, and now the static IP address is selected for IPv4. You go to DHCP option and it's requesting an IP address, and the DHCP request is successful. It is getting the IP address 10.0.0.1 from the DHCP server. And also for this laptop, again, you go to the IP configuration and select the DHCP option. It's requesting IP address and it's getting the IP address as 10.0.0.2 from the DHCP server. So it is very simple to configure any DHCP server on this Cisco router. So that is all about the basic DHCP server configuration on the Cisco router that I have demonstrated to you. And if you give any comment, show IP DHCP, yes, there is a DHCP pool. Okay, you can say the DHCP pool related statistics here, IP address range, all these things, and you can see the DHCP binding also here. So this 10.0.0.1, 10.0.0.2 is this IP address that is assigned by the DHCP server to the client. You can see the client's hardware addresses also you can see. So again, here on the router, if you enter the IP DHCP pool and the pool was ICSS, then there are other options also like default router. You can specify router. If you have router, say the router IP address is 10.0.0.100. If you have router, you can specify also DNS server address also. Say the DNS server is 10.0.0.50. So you can specify also a domain name also. So these are the advanced options. You can specify ICSS.com. So these are the options you can also specify. And also you can go to this laptop and go to IP configuration, again static, and you go to DHCP. It's requesting an IP address, and also open the command prompt, give ipconfig /all comments, and see you have got the connection specific DNS suffix as ICSS.com, and it has got the IP address 10.0.0.1 from the DHCP server. Default gateway is specified as 10.0.0.100 and DNS server as 10.0.0.50 also specified, and it is showing the DHCP server as 10.0.0.254 that we have assigned to the router. So it's taking all the informations that we have configured on the Cisco router's DHCP server. So that is all that I have to demonstrate to you about the DHCP server today. So I hope you have enjoyed it and it was informative to you. And till the next time when we meet, it's goodbye.